I want you just to write down maybe a word or two of something that came to you in that meditation, something that feels true for you. What's your relationship like with money? What does wealth mean to you? So we're now live. Welcome to the Wealth MasterHeart Hangout. If you're watching this online, welcome. I'm sitting here with 10 of my family. I haven't counted, but it feels like about 10 or 11. And this is our community, and this is about creating a world where everyone has what they need. And once everyone has what they need, we can do amazing things. And for those of you watching, I've been here for 2 months, and you can just see behind me a beautiful mandala that several people here have been painting, the flower of life. This is the Kaleidoscope Community House in Pitulu, in Bali, in Ubud, and it's an amazing creative place. And I've been lucky enough to try out some workshop ideas, and it's my last day, and I want to give everyone here, give you guys, my family, the opportunity to connect in with this work I'm doing. So how did this come about? Well, I've never been someone who's in my family, we've never had much money. I've never been from a financially successful family for various reasons that I won't go into. And I really decided a couple of years ago that I fed up of having no money and that I wanted to live a more abundant life. So I started to do some research, and I started to read some really good books and go on courses, and there was always a part of me that was a bit resistant to doing like courses, because they're all like, yeah, you know, earn $1 million, what kind of life do you want to have, how many yachts do you want, what kind of, you know, all about having material possessions. And for me, you know, material possessions, the reason I want money, sure, I'd like a nice motorbike, and I'd like to be able to live without having to worry about earning money. And really what I want to do, if I had $1 million, then what I would want to do is support projects and do things to bring people together and help other people to get to a space where we all have enough. So we're going to start with a little slideshow. So I'm going to invite you all to come on around the back here behind me. So just bring your seats and sit around behind. I've got some slides I want to share with you guys. And if you're watching this live, this is the family. So we're all here in the Kaleidoscope house. Hey, Chloe.
Hey, how are you?
Yeah, good. Good. So jump on around behind. We can say hello, and then we're going to start the slideshow. So I'm still a bit new with this Google Hangout technology. I've never done anything like this before with having people in real people and people in cyberspace land. It's you guys. So welcome to the family. We're growing. There's more and more of us all the time. And we've also got our youngest little MasterHeart abundance person. So you may hear her. She likes to play the drums sometimes, so you might hear that. So do you guys just want to just go around and just say your name and which country you were born in, so we can...
Michael from the States.
You're from France?
Numa, Argentina.
Renee, Australia.
Chris from the Netherlands.
Federico, Italy.
Steve from Jakarta.
So I think there's no two people from the same country. So this is truly international. This is family. And so we're all going to watch the slideshow. Oh, hello. Hello. Come and say hello. And this is Ruby, who's from the world. Okay. Say hello. 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 Good. Okay. So here we go. Ronnie, you want to say hello to everybody? Okay. Ronnie's here too. He's doing security, so he's kind of busy right now. So good. Okay. So I got some slides here to share with you guys, and just waiting for them to come through. And here we go. So let's just see. Yeah, which of these? Okay, so the words that go with them as well here on my phone. Just think about this for a moment. This guy, Charles Essenstein, I hope I've pronounced that right, he wrote a book called The Gift Economy. And the gift economy is all about what you have to give. Now, most of the economy that we work with, in my opinion, is based around greed. It's based around people having more stuff. Actually, they're afraid. They're afraid they won't have enough. They're afraid of being poor or whatever. And I've met some really wealthy people who are afraid of losing their wealth. They're not happy. So that's the greed economy. So in a greed economy, your success is measured by how much you can get. The more you get, the better off you're doing. In a gift economy, your success is measured by what you give to others. So let's just get clear a little bit on the difference between what you need and what you want, or your greed. So in a gift economy, this is how it works. We start off by working together to make sure that everyone's basic needs are met. Food, clothing, and shelter. And people know this. People know that it's a basic human right, and that's why people are protesting and saying, hey, come on, we in the world there's enough for what everyone needs. There's not enough for everyone's greed, right? So here's a good one. So, you know, there's inequality in the world, and you know, it's like your greed is hurting the economy, and this little person down here wants a bit more, you know, a bit more minimum wage so they can have a bit more. So in a greed economy, a few people have a lot because a lot of people have very little. So there's a lot of people at the bottom giving a little bit each to the person at the top. Look familiar? Yeah, so this is like, you know, and I think a lot of the people here sitting with me are people who, you know, we've probably been people who've chosen to step away from this model and step into a different kind of world, and we're traveling and we're learning and we're doing something different and working to be more sustainable. So in the gift economy, everyone has what they need. Do you ever get the feeling that you're playing a game that's impossible to win? You ever get that feeling? Because I just thought to myself, I'm like, why is it so hard for me to get to a space? Like, I'm a generous person, I'm very skilled, I'm intelligent. Why is it I'm 40 and I'm still not financially comfortable? Like, why is it that it's not easy? And I think it's because the system is designed so that it's not easy. The system is designed so that a few people, you know, do well, and a lot of people work very hard. And so we can change this. This isn't about saying, oh, someone's doing this wrong to us. We can change our mindset. And the only way to create a system where everyone wins is in our mindset, and that's where we start. So what do we need for that? We need to be free in our thinking. Conformity is the jailer of freedom and the enemy of growth. So a gift economy will really celebrate individuality. Every single person being different. Every single person having their own unique talents. And I only know a little bit about the people I'm sitting with here, and you know, there's so much that people have to bring and give. Now let's start with some nitty-gritty. Shopping. Okay? How many pairs of shoes does a person need? How many do they want? Might be a few more. So when you buy stuff, you vote with your dollars. So if we go to the local organic farmer and we buy produce from him, he sleeps on the back of his property in a little hut, and his work is to feed the community. So doesn't it feel good to go and support that guy? Whereas if we go to the supermarket, we're paying for plastic, we're supporting the big company that's making money for their shareholders, we're supporting them in kind of imprisoning the person who's, you know, who's a bit of a slave, who sits there and works on the checkout, getting paid minimum wage. So you get to choose. Every dollar is a vote. So what if we started to vote for things in our local community and find alternatives and offer alternatives to each other? So here we go. Every dollar you spend is a vote you cast for the world you want. Doesn't it feel good to give money to people and projects you support in exchange for the value you receive? It could be donation. It could be contributing to help the kids here at Room Idea. In a greed economy, the aim of the game is to minimize expenses, maximize your earnings, and invest to generate a passive income. Now, I went to a workshop and there was a section on shares and investing in the stock market. And I said to the guy, but when you invest in shares, how do you work ethically? How do you make sure that you're, I don't want to be investing my money in an arms company. They're going to be blowing some stuff up. And he's like, oh yeah, we don't really go into that too much because we're more about maximizing the return on your dollar. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I can't play in a system like that. If my energy and money is going to support oil companies and people chopping down the rainforests in Borneo, it doesn't work for me. I want to invest in people. I want to maybe invest in technologies like Bitcoin that isn't owned and controlled by someone. I want to invest in communities. I want to build a school. So the people who have the power have money and they're investing in all this thing that holds the system in place. So, I don't have the answers, but what I do know is that there's a better way. There must be a better way. And there's intelligent people around the world who are working on this and thinking about this and coming up with solutions. So I asked the question, what does wealth mean to you? And here's some this meme for me works quite well. What if we were, just imagine this for a moment, just feel, what does it mean to be wealthy emotionally? To have a rich life of emotions and feelings? Mentally, to have a great mind that can come up with creative ideas, like genius ideas in the world. What if we're really wealthy in terms of the relationships we have around us, the people, our family? Financial wealth, of course, so we can buy stuff. Right now we need money. In the future, hopefully we won't need money. Bitcoin can be a stepping stone, but for now we need some money. And what about if we have spiritual wealth, where we have time and energy to give to our own practices? So in the greed economy, it all comes down to the bottom line. It's a certain number of dollars. So the less you pay, the better. You're always trying to get the price down or the price up if you're selling. In a wealth economy, there are so many ways to be rich. We can be rich in multiple ways, and here are just some of them. So what does it take? What does it take to create wealth? We're all creating wealth all the time. So have you heard of the expression of a go-giver being someone who, in the 80s in England, we had Margaret Thatcher as a prime minister. She was like a man in a woman's body. And it was all about, the good thing of it was saying, well, anyone can now be successful. You can be an entrepreneur. You can be like, they had yuppies, which were young, upwardly mobile people. And they all had like a Range Rover and they'd become rich and stuff. And they were called go-getters because they said, right, I'm going to get something in my life and go out and get it. Well, we've moved on. And now in life, for me, I'm like, I want to be a go-giver. I want to find situations, not just where I can get stuff, where I can give stuff. Yeah. Yes, that's right. We want to be able to give, don't we? Good. So what does it look like for you? In a greed economy, when you have something valuable, you keep it to yourself, right? In a greed economy, if you have a really nice car or a really nice clothes or whatever, you go around your car and you're like, yeah, hey, I got a really nice car. Yeah, and everyone looks at you and goes, hey, wow, he's got a nice car. In a gift economy, you're going to find ways, you're going to want to share that with people. If you do have a nice car, you're going to go, hey, who can I take in my car and take for a ride, and we're all going to have a really good time. Maybe if I'm not using my car, who can I lend it to? So in a gift economy, you take pleasure from other people's pleasure. Doesn't it feel good when the people in your family feel good? Yeah? So in a gift economy, you take pleasure from that. And you know, like collaborative consumption, like Airbnb. If you go away for a month, someone can come and rent out your house. Now, it might be a normal house for you in Sydney, but for someone else coming from somewhere else, that could be amazing, and they may give you some money. And we can use the resources. So instead of having twice as many houses as we need, you know, 4 times as many beds as there are people, ridiculous. Let's just have enough. So it feels good to pay it forward. So let's just talk about the economy briefly, okay? So this is this crazy thing called the economy. And the economy is driven by 2 things, 2 core fears. Okay? There's the fear of not having enough, and there's the fear of losing what you already have. And that's why there's companies being able to sell insurance, there's banks who charge a lot of money to keep your money safe. There's all these institutions that if there wasn't fear, we wouldn't need them. Okay? So how do we make this change in the world? In the greed economy, it's all about me. In a gift economy, we are and we have so much more. So you can see, I don't know if you can see the image up here, you know, we're all taking resources, we're bleeding the oil dry, we're taking from the trees, we're burning stuff, we're making stuff, we're polluting, we're making plastic. In the we space, we've got solar power, we've got wind power, we've got more wildlife, we've got people coming together in community. So collaborative consumption. Collaborative consumption would be, say, take something that has some value that I don't need the whole time. Maybe it's a scooter. So maybe people can come together and they say, well, 4 people don't need 4 scooters. Maybe 4 people can share 2 scooters. So if we all go somewhere together, it's 2 and 2, or, you know, if someone's not using it, then we communicate. We say, well, who wants to take the scooter today? That's collaborative consumption. It's sharing the resources. Okay, so there's hundreds of examples. You'll find lots of those. And when you start to notice the difference, your heart is naturally going to guide you towards the gift economy because it actually feels good. We just got to get over our fears. And as the fear subsides, it makes space for spontaneous generosity. So thank you for that's a little bit of a preamble. So let's bring it back to everyone here. So we're gonna have a little bit of a workshop space in a moment. Let's turn the screen share off. Here we are back again. So yeah, so I want to talk a little bit about MasterHeart and why is the world in such a state is my question. And I have a theory. There's some very powerful books which are kind of spiritual books which were written about 30, 40, 50 years ago. And here's one of them, which is a very interesting read. It's called The Science of Getting Rich. Now, I don't agree with everything in this book. I think this book is very powerful, and I think it's also possibly contributing to the greed economy. However, there's some really good ideas in here. So you may have come across The Secret as well. This book you can get for free online. So there's A Science of Getting Rich. There's a book called Think and Grow Rich. And it's really actually very much about mindset. And this book's written in a kind of a hypnotic way of thinking in a certain way, how to use your will. Now, I was surprised to discover that these books are really, really quite old. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill even has a chapter, I think it was written in the 40s or 50s, it even has a chapter about manifesting using Tantra, using sex to create wealth. Okay, so the technology is very advanced. Now, I think that what's happened is that companies like McDonald's, all the big companies like the Coca-Colas, I think that they've been using this technology to create. They've got their vision. And now if you don't have your own vision, you're going to be part of someone else's vision, creating what they want to have in the world. So let's just bring back I mean, it's easy, isn't it? You go to the shop and you're thirsty and you're hungry. How easy is it just to buy something in a package? It's easy, right? So that's what we got to work with, and we've got to choose. We've got to make different choices. So we're going to have a little workshop here. Before we do that, we're going to wrap this up. We'll wrap this up in about 10 minutes, and then us guys here in Ubud are going to have a bit of a workshop and share our personal visions. But before we do that, I want to just share with you, well, why have we got this thing called a MasterHeart? What is a MasterHeart? How does it work? And the way it works is, I'm just pulling up the information here. So about 6 months ago in Sydney, a group of us started coming together and meeting. And I'm like, well, what do we call this? So in Napoleon Hill's book, he talks about a mastermind, which is a group of people coming together to help each other to achieve what they want. And it's very, very powerful, because you all can see what are the blind spots in another person. So if I have an unconscious limiting belief about money, I probably can't see it. And these people around me can say, hey, Dunstan, you're missing something. You said you were going to do this and you didn't do it, and they can see things that I can't see. So other people are like my mirrors that can mirror that back to me and help me to learn and help me to overcome whatever my fears and blockages are. So Napoleon Hill talks about a mastermind. Now, you may have seen those images which are like, hey, the human heart is way more powerful than the mind. And the human heart, all of our hearts are actually in dialogue with each other right now. And when enough people start to free themselves from fear and come from a place of gratitude and abundance and generosity and gift, the paradigm in the world is going to change. The only reason the world is how it is because there's fear, and our fear is stabilizing that paradigm. Our fear in the world is holding things how they are. It's holding it fixed. So we need to start making individual choices and coming together in community to support each other in manifesting from the heart. So instead of a mastermind group, it's a MasterHeart group. So it's MasterHeart wealth creation. Abundance is about creating a world where everyone wins. And we've got to start with our community, because there's 6 million people in the world, and so there's a lot of energy there, right? So we've got to start in our local community, and it starts with you right now. Like, I don't care if you want to join this and work with us and be part of the program, that's great. If you just want to be someone who's doing this on your own, we'll feel you. We'll feel you in our hearts. And you know, everyone will make a difference. And it's the collective consciousness of the human species starting to shift. And it's such an exciting time. We've got Bitcoin as a technology, which is a currency that is not controlled by a bank, right? So no one can manipulate it and print more money. It's controlled by a mathematical algorithm. And Bitcoin is just the start. There's hundreds of cryptocurrencies. You can look that up. That's not our focus right now. But this is something where people are reclaiming their energy, reclaiming their power from banks, from big organizations, which are all about making the shareholders rich and aren't responsible in the environment. They're not looking after our beautiful planet. They're not looking after the beautiful people on our earth. And that's what this home is about here. You may be able to see, I'm just going to give you a little, this is our workshop space. So you can see at the back there, hey guys, there's this beautiful mandala. There's a projector where we show movies. There's this beautiful mandala which is taking shape, the seed of life, the flower of life. And this is all about birthing this consciousness. This is in an artist's house here, an artist's residence, Ruma Soni. And art is the answer. Love is the answer. Stop buying stuff. It's a little movie that we watch. A crazy hippie guy in the mall telling people, stop buying stuff, and then he got thrown out. But this is it, you know. So here we are. So this is a world. We want to create a world where everyone wins. Now, in the meantime, we can't sit around going, hey, we're a bunch of hippies and we're just going to meditate and we're going to create something new. We've actually got to win in the world how it is now, right? So right now, we all need some money. So we've got to do what we've got to do to get some money, but then use it wisely and start to vote for the people we want to support. and start looking at ways that we can give less of our money to credit card companies or give less of our money to, you know, big companies and supermarkets. And there's some things you can't get away with. We all have to put petrol in our scooters, right? I got to fly to the UK. I had to, you know, I had to pay for a flight. But let's look at, you know, there's some smart things we can do to really start to minimize our expenses and not be generous to big corporations. We can be generous to ourselves. That's great. Let's look after each other. And so what's going to happen here is there's going to be this is a movement. This is a community. The book I most recommend that you read is called Sacred Economics, and it's by let me get the guy's name right. It's by a guy called Charles. Let's spell it right. Charles Essenstein, and he's really an architect in this. You can also look up a guy called Michael Tellinger, who has the Ubuntu project in Africa, and that's a community of, say you have 100 people in community, everyone does 3 hours a week of community work. There's no taxes, there's no council tax. If the road needs fixing, then a load of people come together, they use their 3 hours to go build the road. Someone else comes, they use their 3 hours to take away the rubbish. Some people are growing food for the community. So we're getting away from this idea that you need money to pay someone outside. We're doing that within the community. So for people that are inspired and want to stay connected, we're going to run a bit of a meditation later. It's a powerful meditation using universal life force energy to bring what we want into our vision, into our hearts, and it really works. I found when I did this that my business started to go in a good direction. And we've been manifesting all sorts of things here. We did when we created the mandala, we manifested, it was 6 of us. Risky and Petra back there somewhere, give us a wave. And we started, and the day after we manifested, Numa arrived. Okay, we said we want to draw this mandala. Where's Numa? You still here, brother? Here he is. Numa, and Numa has skills. Yeah. So he's very technical. So he drew out the shape with precision. And you know, he arrived. You know, we said, okay, we need these right people, and Federico now has been taking on, and he's been painting, and so maybe we'll connect on Facebook. There is a group, so we can do this. So I'm looking for people that want to link arms and come together and create the future, the new normal. People who want to come from a space of love and generosity. Okay. And so I thought to myself, I was like, well, let's have a big community. And then for people who want to be in the core of that community, how does that work? Well, that's the MasterHeart part, and and I've come up with a thing. I'm saying, well, what if we had a system where people could pay it forward, and if you bring someone into that community, you get paid. So like a pyramid system, but upside down. Okay, so the idea here is that I'm going to run this every month. We're going to do a gathering like this, and we're going to support with resources. We're going to hold the same intention. We're going to come together all around the world and meditate and manifest and share ideas and inspire each other. And so yeah, the idea is that we can do that. And I thought, well, $25 a month is an amount that people should be able to afford. Yeah, it works, right? So, and so I'm open to being flexible on that as well. If there's someone that struggles, I thought, what's an amount that people just say yes, and then they can start to get value. So $25 a month should be able to make you, if you do this, should easily be able to make a difference of $100 a month in your life. And the idea is that then if you bring someone into the group, that they then will, you'll get their money. Okay, so it's not all about me being rich at the top of the scheme. This is about me creating a system that you can pass on to your friends. So if Michael invites 5 people and they come along and join, they can pay him, and they can be part of our community. You get where I'm going? Because if you're doing something and it's fun and your friends want to join, then why not? And why should people pay for it? Well, right now in our economy, that's the only way I know that. Maybe someone's got a better idea, but I want to work with people who are serious and who are going to show up and do the work and do what they say they're going to do and have some skin in the game. So, so that's the vision. So we're going to sign out now from the webcast. Is there anyone? Does anyone want to share? Like, would anyone like to share? Sort of, we did a little meditation earlier. Is there anything burning that you want to share with the rest of the tribe? We've got Tashka in Sydney. Beautiful Tashka, who really she really, when she was in the room, we did the meditation. I could really feel our hearts going out to everyone else in Sydney at the time. Anton, who's in Sydney, he was the first person to join the MasterHeart movement, an amazingly talented chiropractor. And Mirik, my man Mirik, my brother from another mother, who's one of the most generous people I know, and he's got a project for organic vegetables to bring organic produce from the farms straight to the consumers and do organic veggie boxes and help people who are recovering from cancer and stuff. So there's some of the people who are already in the community. Anyone here who wants to just say, Michael, you want to say a quick hello and share how you help people?
Yeah, so I just found that any way that I can be generous actually really serves me. So that's why when Dunstan presented this idea of this gift economy, it resonates with me really strongly. So I want to. It just is what happens and what I do naturally now. I just want to take it in a maybe more systematic and even more powerful way. Because it's what gives to me the most. So I want to share that with even more people.
Beautiful. And I've worked with Michael. He's quite modest. He hasn't shared. He's a massively talented Watsu practitioner, teaching people in the water to, helping people to teach other people, and giving this gift of touch and movement and dance in the water, which is a very powerful modality. So if you ever get a chance, check him out. And yeah, and he also, I really find Michael embodies the gift economy. He takes great pleasure from giving, and I feel that, and I learn from that also. So fantastic. And I'm not going to put Risky on the spot, but Risky has this beautiful vision here. Here he is. Risky was sharing his vision for, having kids in Indonesia here in Bali and Petulu have the same opportunities that other kids around the world will have through education. So what if they could grow and learn how to, what if they could learn some simple business skills, or if they want to, what do they need to learn to really, live how they want to live in the world? What are their dreams? What are their dreams for their community that we can maybe support without coming in and saying, hey, we're Westerners, we know better, and really honoring the traditional ways of the Balinese people to, be able to grow their own food and come together in community and have a really beautiful community connection and a connection with spirit as well. So, so look, we're going to sign off there. If you're watching this video, I hope it's been a bit of fun, and we're just going to wish you goodbye. Bon voyage to me, because I'm flying, and I'll be in the UK next time. And yeah, thanks for listening, and just drop me a line if you want to get involved. See you guys. Ciao.